Welcome back to the Cage Cast. This episode I've been very excited to do because we're having our first female guest, Audrey, or Cute Punk Games on Twitch. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I've been really excited and I was hoping I would be a guest on. I just wasn't sure when.
Oh, definitely. I've had only a few people know, but whenever I started thinking about doing the podcast, I had a page in a journal just listed with guests I wanted, and you were like the top three at least. I know
Aww.
that. And I was like, dude, I've got to have Audrey on.
Thanks.
Be interesting conversations.
Oh, for sure. Always.
One thing that you started that with your Twitch and even on your Instagram, your first posts were all Overwatch based.
Yeah, they were.
Do you still play Overwatch as much?
I do. My past few streams have been Overwatch, but on PC. But actually, when I started streaming, I didn't even have a PC. It was all through PlayStation, like the built-in
those days.
Twitch. Really, you were around that long?
I've been around. I remember the day you got your PC. You put on your story.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like that, I started streaming from PlayStation, and actually, I think one of my first streams or the game that I streamed more was like one Overwatch, but also Red Dead 2. So I guess you weren't around that early on.
Knowing you, that is far left field.
I know, but it was like a story game, and I was like, wow, I really like this game. It's very interesting. However, I never finished the story. I never finished it. I always say I need to, but unfortunately I found out what happens at the end and I'm just afraid. Yeah.
I don't know if it's one of those that has multiple endings, but I recently finished the Black Ops 2 campaign again.
Okay.
And I changed one thing because chat told me to, and I got a completely different ending that I don't remember seeing.
Oh.
I didn't even know it had multiple endings.
I think I prefer story games that have multiple endings, unless like the only ending's like really good.
Yeah,
but
the main ending was great, but it got a completely different. I did everything the same except for one mission because there's a mission where there's a guy with a bag over his head and you've got to kill him. That's the prompt. Apparently and I've just always killed him because that's what it said to do. So I did it.
Yeah.
But apparently you can just shoot him in the leg and it changes the story completely.
Oh.
Because that guy ended up surviving until the very end.
Yeah.
It's very unexpected.
Nice. No, I think so I feel like I'm really bad at story games with multiple endings because I will always do the good path. Like, I'm not chaotic. Like, it hurts me to even think about doing something that's wrong or that's like why would you do that? That's so messed up. Like, and then it just ends up being so vanilla, like my playthroughs and stuff like that. That's why I think I stay away from story games because I'm not that content creator that like makes everything so problematic and stuff like that. So I just think it's not interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely different routes. Like if you ever got into Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, whenever they were going through Undertale and all the possible endings, and they would go through each run, like the genocide run, the pacifist run, stuff like that. I just never cared. And the other route is very what me and you would do, just play the base game that you think you would. Like, there's a game that became famous for having two endings, and it was Infamous, if you remember that game from PlayStation.
Yeah.
Infamous and Infamous 2 and Second Son, they all kept the theme of a good run and a bad run. And every time I did something bad, like I felt bad because I was like, I already played it through the good and that guy's cool. Why would I shoot him? That sucks.
Yeah.
My best friend played those same games and he loves them, but he's played each one multiple times and he's like, oh yeah, they're both great endings. And I'm like, I can't just go around murdering people. It feels wrong.
Yeah, or like even going back to the whole Red Dead thing, like where you can like hijack trains and like kill random people and you can literally get kicked out of your own camp for being too problematic. I can't do that. Like, I just want to be friends with everyone and all that stuff. Like, it's so hard. Like, I would like to, like, I think it'd be interesting. Maybe one day I'll like make it one of my bigger streams where I like just do everything problematic in a game and like force myself to suffer.
Mm. When it comes to streaming video games, you've played a good handful. You've played Valorant, I was going to say American, Animal Crossing, Overwatch, obviously, and some other games. But is there any game that you want to stream but haven't for some reason?
Game that I want to stream but I haven't. Not really. Like I honestly don't actively seek out games. I kind of just listen to people and they're like, "Oh, you should play this with me. You should play this with me or you should try this." Like I'll try anything once. Like
Mm.
recently like I got into Valorant because Donut Guy back there was like, "You should play with me." And I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." But like when even before I like started playing, I downloaded it and I got halfway through the tutorial and then I stopped for some reason because I was like, I don't know, this game has been like too hyped. I don't know if I want to like really invest my
Mm.
time in it. But then I started playing with friends and then it got like more exciting. But I think the next game that I've been hearing a lot from people is Apex, which I think is cross-platform on the 6th of this month. So definitely going
Oh,
to be easy uh, to jump between PC and PlayStation for me.
yeah. I actually remember when you made the jump to PC, and
Yeah.
for the first, I want to say month, everything you played, it was rough because you were learning the controls and like how to use keyboard and mouse. And I was like, I was going through the same thing at the same time
Yeah.
because I always played on PlayStation. And
Mhm.
then coming to Twitch, I was like, dude, I suck at every game now. And I don't know about you, but I've gotten to the point where I tried playing a normal game like I used to with a controller and it felt wrong.
It didn't feel wrong for me to go back to controller. It just felt slower because,
Yeah.
that's just how it is. It's just everything's so much slower there. Whereas PC, you can literally like have the best settings and everything is like fast and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and you can have it customized to how you play, and like
Exactly. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
So I remember playing like on PC when I was younger.
mhm.
So like the first, I guess, real game I guess you can say I played was RuneScape. Like
That's how a
OG
lot of
old
people
school.
started gaming.
Yeah, and I was 9 when I started playing RuneScape.
All
But
right.
like even before that was like, the disc games of like kid learning stuff. So it's like I was familiar with the idea of like keyboard controls and mouse controls, but
Mhm.
then at some point it kind of dropped off. And then during that time as well, like gaming, PC gaming has been so like developed and a lot of changes. So like just getting back into it, it's like I'm aware of how to use a keyboard, but I don't know the speed and like
Yeah.
all the new stuff.
L- Learning what DPI settings for what
Yeah.
programs that hit me for a loop for a bit, but now that I've gotten very used to it, like the lowest DPI setting I've got for my mouse, I use for everyday stuff like Discord editing stuff like that. But as
Mhm.
soon as I get into like a first person shooter, I turn it up one or two so I can actually get better aim.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, to be
It's
quite honest too, like, I don't really know all the settings like that either. I just kind of play around with things. I don't memorize what names are for what. So,
mm-hmm.
like, I mean, I'm eventually gonna learn and teach myself or have
Yeah,
someone teach me, but it's like I understand like the dumbed down version of like sensitivity, all
a
that stuff.
few there's a good bit of like gaming gear and gaming mice and keyboards, but the one I got is from Red Dragon and it's this big chunkers of a mouse, and I love it because like it's wide and I have like big hands so it sits
Uh-huh.
well. um but they made it super simple with this little button, and I just literally turn up the DPI and it's color
Oh,
coded,
that's cool.
so I can like just look at it and at a glance be like, oh, I'm way too high, and I'll drop it.
That's really cool.
But it's little adjustments like that, and playing a game like Call of Duty on that was meant for console, trying to play it on PC, it had a lot of challenges I didn't expect,
Yeah.
because there was like I remember playing um back when I played on the PS3, it had a mission where you had to fly, like just fly a jet, and it was so easy. It was no problem. because it was made for the joysticks to just pivot around.
Yeah.
The mouse, I was picking it up and slamming, trying to like pull the thing, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks." And I just got told I sucked at the game a lot, even though it's not meant for, it wasn't built
Yeah.
for PC.
Yeah. But I
But
can definitely say my aim is a lot better on
mhm.
PC than it is on console.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that too. But when it comes to uh, continue streaming like certain games, have you felt the side where there's games that you enjoy playing, but they just don't do as well on Twitch, or games that you're like, it's all right, and it actually does pretty decent?
Um, I feel like for me, it might be Overwatch, even though Overwatch is like such a huge category anyways. It's
Mm-hmm.
like such a hit or miss thing. And I feel
Okay.
like, I mean, it really depends on what works for you, and like I guess it's a whole lot of different factors, like when you stream, your location,
Yeah.
the like how you advertise outside of streaming.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember like Animal Crossing was big, and I would get viewers from that. Even like when I started on Red Dead, I would randomly get a lot of viewers from that too.
I think
Um,
there's some games where it's not as saturated, so you there's more eyes on you, and they're just like, yeah,
yeah,
sure, I'll watch that one.
yeah. Like actually, recently, I started playing a little bit of Monster Hunter Worlds,
Oh
on
yeah.
PlayStation because my friends were like, "You should try and play it." So I got it, and I play it not as often, but I play it to play with them,
Mm-hmm.
which I like playing games, especially if I can hang out with my friends. But
Yeah.
I would get some people who would join chat and they're like, yeah, we like to see people who are lower level and like help them and stuff like that. But sometimes I feel like those types of games don't do well for me, but I'm not 100% sure.
I
Like,
understand that.
yeah, I just need to, I guess, track better what games work better for me. But I feel like Overwatch is always going to be something that works well for me because that's
Hmm.
how I started. And I don't know. Yeah, it just for some reason always works well for me.
Yeah. As much as I've always preached you shouldn't care about the numbers, because
Hmm.
it will just depress you and make you unmotivated at some point. And like I've had some conversations with other streamers who have been on the opposite side of this, where I hide my viewer count so I don't see it. And the reason being is when it does dip, your mood dips, and then the whole mood of the stream changes and people leave more, which is going to turn you down more, which is going to make more people leave. And then there's streamers I've talked to who they leave it on because they say, well, whenever I do get a raid and a lot of people, I know that I can be hyped that time. My argument is you should just be hyped the whole time and keep those viewers instead of waiting for it to spike and then raising your your hype level, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'm not one to really hound on numbers. Like, I got my affiliate already, so that's like cool. That's like really good for me. But I've been kind of helping a handful of friends who are trying to get affiliate, and
Mm-hmm.
they're always like, why does it say I have like three people in chat, but I only see like one person's name and the rest are bots or something? I'm like, it's like one, a really bad system. It's like kind of slow, and you can't like really rely on that. You just gotta just rely on the content you're putting out because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're it's going to show in your stream that you're so focused on numbers that you're not as focused on the content you're making.
Yeah.
And like my average viewers right now is, or it has been for like ever, is really low and like not even past, you know, the requirements for affiliate
Mm-hmm.
because I don't care for like, you know, boosting myself to get, you know, to that, what is it, 75 average viewers for
Yeah.
partner or whatever. Because
Mm-hmm.
like all I care about is streaming and just like putting my stuff out there. Like I don't care if there's like one person in there and they're like a friend who has me tabbed. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
still having fun, and then I just get to, you know, clip the content later.
Yeah. And I think that's a very healthy way of doing things because not only is it like keeping your mindset on like just keeping fun in the stream and not worrying so much like, oh, but last stream I had 27% more active chatters, and you get into it too much. And the way you clip and you advertise on Instagram especially, it's a grind, and I respect it. I can't do it. I do as much as I can. Like if there's something funny, I will clip it myself and I'll put it on. But
Hmm.
daily, I my daily's Twitter, and
Yeah.
Instagram's more of my like every other week maybe.
Yeah, I think I was getting to the point though, like, yeah, I was actually no, I was posting twice a day. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
would do? I would post like in the middle of the day, a clip from last night's stream because it's like, hey, this is what happened last night if you missed it. And
Mm,
then around like later at night when I'm about to stream, I'd post a selfie because, I'm using my looks to hopefully get views that way.
shameful, shameful.
I'm the worst, like absolutely the worst. But that system did work for a while, but like then I was kind of starting to get in my head about like, oh, am I posting too much? Like I'm only posting selfies and then clips. Like it was alternating for one, but then I
Mm-hmm.
was like, wow, these are a lot of pictures. Like I don't know if like this is bad or good or if people are like, oh, she's just another person who's posting a lot of her face and whatever. But like in my head, it was like a marketing thing, and it's not like I was only posting
Mm-hmm.
my face, which some Instagrams do that. But then also I got kind of tired out. Like it was getting a little bit chaotic trying to post twice a day. I was also working full time at the time, like a
Mm-hmm.
6 a.m. to 3 gig. So it was a lot. And then, I got when quarantine started and I was out of my job for like 3 months, like that's when I really got to be more invested in Twitch and games and stuff like that.
Yeah. I definitely I envy the amount that you actually post on Instagram. It's just I see it as you have a lot of content that you put out, and it's very admirable. But mine, I don't think it fits for Instagram personally. Like sometimes I'll have something funny or something I'm like, oh, it's so good, and I have to put it on. But most of the time, I'll get like a clip or two during a stream, but it's like it's not worth it. I'm gonna save that for later. But also, I don't know if you have one, but everyone was freaking out whenever it was first implemented about having Twitch trailers and how important they were.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually do have one, and it's still the first one I made when everyone was like, "You should have one" and stuff
yeah,
like that.
you
And I
should
was
be
like,
super professional and put only the best clips. And my my trailer, I didn't even do like a professional introduction. I was just like the very first one I did it by the book like they said you should. And me and this one streamer, we watched the same videos, and about a month later when I found him and he found me, he asked if I ripped off his trailer, and I was like, "What?" And then we watched each other's, and I had posted mine before he did, but we
"Oh,
watched the same video, so we followed the same script, and it was like almost beat for beat. What I said was what he said in the
oh
same
my
rhythm.
God."
It
I
was
have to
rough.
watch yours later. Mine was just like a little montage of Overwatch moments because at the time I was only doing Overwatch, but now I'm a
Hmm.
variety streamer.
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely need to update it for one, but it was literally just different clips, and then at the end is just like a slide that says thanks for watching.
Mhm. My one now, because I was not happy with the first one I had. I was like, you know what? I'm just leaning just far into it, and it is a nonstop just barrage of just the funniest moments I could find at the time, and definitely the cream of the crop, as they would
Yeah.
say. It's
No.
that there's days where this is gonna sound sad, but like there's days where I'm not having a good day, and so I'll watch my own Twitch trailer to like to just be like, dude, that was so much fun, and then I'm happy again.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, if the content doesn't make you happy, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, your content has to make you happy first. Like, if you're killing yourself over trying to make other people happy, that's just not a healthy way to live in any sense, even outside of like gaming or streaming or being a content creator.
Mm-hmm. Now, there is something I've been wanting to. It seems a little off the wall, but I've genuinely been curious about this. Out of all of my Twitch friends I've made, me and you are probably one of the only ones I know who have mascots.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Shorty, and I've got
Yeah.
Tony and
Mm-hmm.
Ralph, but Ralph is kind of dead.
Oh, no.
So yeah, Ralph was the first one I made, and
Yeah.
but he like kind of at this moment he's 700 miles away from me at this moment. So
Oh, no.
I can't take I quit posting on the Instagram because I just stopped for a day and then I never went back onto it. But Ralph was a big thing, and then when I was like it's kind of gone, I made Tony on. I was bored. I made a little blob, and then everyone loved him, and now that's the thing.
Yeah.
And you have Shorty, which is one of your
Yes.
emotes, probably one of the cutest emotes I've seen.
Oh, yeah. No,
Who
it's
did your
definitely.
emotes?
Oh, it's a girl I found on Fiverr who's actually from the Philippines.
Oh,
Like, yeah, I did a few days of research, like going between different profiles. But yeah, I went to Fiverr and I think it was $15 for three. So like the standard price, I think it's the
they're pretty
standard
good
price.
emotes too.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm gonna pay for it. And I want more emotes from her, but she like during quarantine, she just blew up. She has like at least 50 orders in front of her.
Mm,
Like so I'm like, I can wait. My emotes are fine. Like the only thing I'd be really like concerned with was like my hair color because my hair is not pink anymore. And but my emotes of me are the pink hair. But like
yeah.
Shorty's fine. Everyone uses Shorty the most.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I have a emote. I've got the 3 emote slots, and I've got one of just Tony that everyone uses, one of
mhm.
Tony with a gun,
Oh,
and then there's me doing the pog face.
oh my gosh.
It's fun times in my chat.
Yeah,
But
I would
mm,
like more reaction emotes of myself. Like I had maybe a handful of shorty ones too, but I don't know what I would have her do just because she always has resting bitch face and I don't know. Maybe I'll make one of her where she's like being shy because every time someone redeems, the shorty channel rewards on my page, it's where I bring her to the camera and I just cuddle her for like a few minutes. That's literally it. But then she does this thing where she's like being a baby and hides her face like in my neck or like behind, like she'll turn around. So I have to hold her like this, like hold her face up to the camera and be like, the people asked for you. Respect
it's
them.
it's so funny because the contrast, because you look and you're like super happy, like, oh, Shorty's so sweet. You look at her, she looks depressed.
I swear I'm taking care of her. Please don't take her away from me.
She's the best, but she just has that face of like a grandma who's just not happy, just
Yeah.
there.
Resting
Oh,
bitch face and like she's like always looking down and like her fur covers her eyes so it's like are her eyes even open and when you see it she's like glaring at you.
I don't know. I had an idea for a meme and I was like I need to do it, but I just haven't. And it was just
Okay.
gonna be a screenshot of you super happy next to just pissed off Shorty and just says my 2 moods, and that's it.
Honestly, meme me, I'm for it. No one really memes me. Like sometimes I see people get like content made for them. I was like, oh, that's nice. Like I've had a few people draw things for me, but they were just like they're okay. But like
Hmm.
memes, like meme me up. Oh, like do you remember the picture you drew of me and
Oh
Shorty
yeah,
on your channel?
I can say I have gotten way better at drawing on
Oh,
MS
really?
Paint. Yeah, I'll DM you the some of the more recent ones, but like I've got some decent. I call them blobs because I'm not an artist,
Uh-huh.
and like you and Shorty were, I want to say, the second or the third ever, and I was definitely learning.
I think I'm gonna just have to redeem it again if it's still a rewards thing.
I don't think it is. I'd have to
Oh
check,
no.
but I'll probably just do it to do it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and that's the thing. I've had a lot of like I guess you could call them segments, but part of the stream where I thought, this would be fun, this would be cool, and I eventually just tossed it because I was like, it's not connecting like I wanted to, or if it is, I'm just like, I'm not that happy with it.
Okay.
Like I've got the therapy night. That was a thing for a long time.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I got very depressed, so I couldn't. When someone, because I made it as a joke, when I started it, it was supposed to be for me and my streamer friends to get like 5 minutes of content free where it's easy. You come in, you make a meme thing, and then I overdo the psychiatry thing.
Yeah.
I'm very good at just like thinking on my feet, bullshitting. I'm very good at it. And so
improv.
They'll come in with their like random video game problem, and then I'll like, all right, so how does that make you feel? And then get way too into it. And there always came a point where I would accidentally say something that hit way too good, and they're just like, oh. And I'm like, oh, duh. Like, me and my buddies were playing Minecraft, and dude was saying how he wants to go talk to this one e-girl, but he can't, and how she doesn't like the flashy armor he has. And I was like, well, do you think it's because you're trying to overcompensate with your cool armor, and she might actually like you for you if you showed her? And it got way too quiet. And I was just like, you guys there? And he said, no, I'm actually thinking about my life right now. Give me a minute. It was interesting.
That's what's great, though, because, like, sometimes when you are just, like, joking and fucking around, and then you say something, and you're just like, wait a minute, why does that make sense? It's probably because it's been in your brain for a while, but, you just don't want to either acknowledge it, or you didn't know how to bring it up, and that's kind of a big thing with me when we get into serious topics, because I love helping my friends out. So I'm, like, advice central most of the time. So...
It's nice, like, those streams, though.
Yeah? Like
I
that.
enjoy them.
The In My Feels, like it was like parts 1 through 6. I think that's how far it went. Like 6 streams of In My Feels.
You gotta love how the chronological order went from, okay, I was playing Overwatch 2, all right, In My Feels part 6, and then, all right, we're doing Red Flags today with Music King.
Yeah, like it's, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out little quirks for my channel, but it's just kind of free balling it.
That's not the term. That's not the term. We'll go with it. We'll go with it.
See, I'm quirky. I'm random. I'm not like other girls.
Question: how did you and music start? Like playing together? Like obviously I introduced you two because of a raid, and you threatened a ban if he wasn't funny.
Yeah, I was like, this guy better be good or else I'm gonna ban you. Yeah, I wasn't serious.
And then when we said it in chat, I was like, music, be funny or she'll ban me. He starts laughing and says, what if I just say nothing for the next 20 minutes? I was like, don't you do it.
I think it's like after you introduced us like that, and we like were just like following each other. Like I think it was just the idea of, oh, this person's cool. Like we have a mutual friend, so, and they're cool, so like let's just keep supporting each other. And then at one point he was like, I think he brought it up. He was like, oh, you haven't played with me yet, but you played with this person. And I was like, okay, yeah, like I'll add you. And then it was a slow like build up to where we are now, which is like insane if no one knows our memes about friendship.
Yeah. A lot of those like inside jokes that happened long ago, like we'll remember them, but no one else does, and they're very confused. Like the two I can think of that like really fit like me and you inside jokes are the clown girlfriend and honey mustard.
Oh my god, yeah. What are 2 really weird and random jokes? Like, I forgot about the honey mustard one, but once you said honey mustard, it like hit me in my head. I was like, what a weird time.
Yeah, I was scrolling through my following on Instagram, and I was like, why do I know that name? And I clicked, and I was like, that's Cairo. That's honey mustard chick.
That's honey.
She's
That's
gonna
honey
hate me
mustard
for
chick.
saying that. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
For those of you who don't know, so the honey mustard, it was weird, man, because she came in and started talking about wanting an e-boy, and I was like, oh, I'm up to that, and she was like, oh, how is this and this and this, and then I came back with, no, we're not talking until you rub honey mustard on these thighs, and she was like, all right, I'm done with the joke, and I didn't stop. I kept going.
That's another thing with you and like jokes, like going back to the whole we're either really deep in our feels or we're memeing so much. You take the memes so far. Like you don't stop until it's time for you to leave the chat.
Yeah. And I'm just like, all right, I'm out. And they're like, all right, that's how it's ending. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I made a t-shirt just called Cage's Honey Mustard.
God.
It was, I hated it because we talked to her. I'd message her and we're all good. And I was like, I don't want her to come all creepy. I was just trying to joke around. I was just being stupid. I'm sorry. And she was like, no, it's good. There was that. And then Clown Girlfriend. That, yeah, obviously I didn't really care, but I was like, I gotta play into it. And I was like, how dare you? There's this chick on Instagram and Twitter. She's a private account, unfortunately, because I was trying to get proof the other day, and I don't follow her anymore. But she dresses up as a clown. That's her thing. And I was like, "Yo, what is this?" And I was like, "Why is she kind of hot?" And then Audrey was like, "Oh no, we have a girlfriend alert." And I was like, "No," because there was the reason I kept saying no to that, because there was a post she put where she was like into some weird stuff, man. Like I'm talking the DDLG stuff, and I'm like, I'm.
And is there something wrong with that? Are you kink shaming right now?
Not for me. It's not my thing. Holding hands is as far as I'll go.
Holding hands is no, and then I would just go into your streams and I'll just be like, "How's your clown girlfriend?"
And then chat's like, what? And then I have to explain it. And then you wouldn't say anything else. You'd make me explain it.
It's your girlfriend. Why would I have to explain your girlfriend to your chat?
Mm-hmm.
Your clown girlfriend.
That was nuts. But with well, I had a point, and then you made me start laughing. Then I'm trying my best to be a host here. You make your clown girlfriend over here, honk honk.
Honk honk, ew.
Oh, it's so dumb.
Please don't describe your
my what? My what? Say it, Audrey.
Keep it in the bedroom for you and your clown girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
So, you had mentioned that you live in New York, which I don't think is a secret over here, Miss New Yorker.
No, it's not.
I had spent a week in Manhattan and Brooklyn with my best friend, and it was at the same time terrifying and so amazing. Yeah. I learned so much.
Yeah. I think that's the appeal of the city. It's like you're excited but scared at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And it'll make you or break you, because it was not for Tyler. It was the city life is not for him. But I fit in so well, and I enjoyed it. And us living, like, growing up in not the country, but in between suburbs and country, like we have neighbors, but they're a little far away. Like so having big city life where you can just walk places, and the terrifying aspects at points, I felt like I fit in. And one big goal we had for that trip was no tourist attractions.
Okay, that's fair.
Our first trip to New York, we did not go to the Statue of Liberty, didn't walk the Brooklyn Bridge, even though we did see it. It was beautiful, but like all the stuff that you think, oh, tourists do that on their first trip, and that's where they go. We explored. We just went out, and our very first, the first thing we learned is traffic sucks.
Oh yeah,
I got cut off by cops so much. I was like, that would never fly. Like, it's just douchebags, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But we went there. It was intense for sure. And our very first night, one thing I was very anal about it because I was like, the last thing I wanted was to go to New York and be spotted as a tourist. Like, oh, he's not from here. You can tell. And so I did way too much research on.
Oh no!
There's like a community of New York YouTubers who give advice and suggestions about New York, and there's a lot of things I picked up about like how to not look like a tourist and like how to spot a tourist. And I was I'm just not going to do any of those. And I even like went as far to learn like a few simple lingo things, so even like restaurants wouldn't suspect me to be new, because I was like, last thing I want is to walk up there, someone be like, oh, he's from a little city, let's rob him.
Let's rob him.
I was terrified, man.
I mean, that could happen, but that might be a little extreme.
When me and my friend on the first night, we went and got pizza at this spot right around the corner from our hotel, and I went up first, and I made it as simple as possible because I was like, I'm trying to get in, get out. Yeah. And I said, I think I said, could I get a pepperoni pie? And he's like, all right, 10 minutes. Simple. Move on. Yeah. Tyler walks up. It was about a 10-minute conversation where he's fighting with this actual Italian man, and he's just like, I want a large pizza. And the dude goes 36-inch or 24. And then Tyler goes, which one's bigger, buddy?
Oh my god.
And he said, no, pepperoni. And I was just like, bro, you gotta make it simple, quick, in and out. And he was fighting because he was like pulling teeth. Yep. And what we didn't realize, when I just said what I said, I got just the largest pepperoni they could get. And I was like, all right, there we go. He got the smallest. And so I had to give him some of my pizza.
Oh my god.
But it was a ton of fun. I think our second or third day, we went to Brooklyn, and we got lost in Brooklyn. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had to learn the metro really quick.
Oh yeah.
Because we were like, oh, that makes sense. We got it. And then it turns out we were almost in Harlem, and it was like,
from Brooklyn? How did you do that?
Because we thought I don't know the exact like trains, but the exact subways. But
no, understandable.
We got off on the wrong one, took one that went north instead of south, and it went way too north. And we got scared because my phone had died and his wasn't that good, and he had bad service.
No.
So just out of sheer necessity, we learned how to read the metro signs and how to get around. And we were like, by the second or third day, we had it.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to know like uptown, downtown, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It'd be easy to read the signs.
And plus, it was our first time being on a subway in general.
Yeah,
so
no, I totally understand that.
Understanding how the stops worked, where the signs inside the cabs were, like, where they are. It was just a learning experience for sure.
Oh, yeah. There's just a lot.
Yeah, a lot. There was this place also that had, obviously pizza is something you have to try when you're in New York. I'm not going to lie to you. You're probably going to take offended. It was good. Not great. It was good. I've had worse pizza for sure.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I personally like super thin crust.
Okay.
And,
well,
yeah.
Then you should have liked their pizza because
we got hand tossed.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't bad. I've had horrible pizza. I can tell you right now, it was not bad pizza. It was good pizza. Mm-hmm. But definitely my favorites are not from New York. That's just a personal choice.
Yeah. No, I'm not like that crazy about it. Like I'm definitely not offended because like I'm originally from like Michigan, the Midwest, so my pizza's like yeah. The thicker pizzas.
Yeah, deep dish.
Not necessarily deep dish. Like, I'm not Chicago
Also, can we talk
style.
about how there's a difference between deep dish and thick crust?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it was Papa John's or whatever, but there was one of the major pizza joints. They had this whole thing about, oh, deep dish this, but the crust was stupid thick, and then the cheese was just a slice of cheese. It was awful. There's
I
this. There. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I feel like I never had deep dish, or it's been just such a long time to where I don't even remember, so it doesn't, I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
say confirm nor deny.
There's this. There's this place in Lenore, North Carolina called Piccolo's, and it's there's two locations, one in North Carolina and one in Chicago, and the owner flies back and forth every other week. And
Okay.
the reason he does that is because he wants to make sure it's being authentic how his family made deep dish pizza. And
Wow.
it's like normal crust, but it's like stupid thick with the meats, the cheese, the sauce, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. But I like those types. Obviously, the two ends of the spectrum, stupid thick and super thin.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know what happened. But after like 2 or 3 days in New York, I got really cold. Like I'm a very like calm, caring person.
Yeah.
But after the 700th homeless person walks up and tries touching you, you kind of get really old, like really quick.
Oh
This
yeah.
this old lady, like this old Korean lady, I'm assuming, because of where we were at. But she most of the people would just talk to you, and you just got to keep going. She
Yeah.
one reached out for my arm, and like without a second thought, my eyes never moved. I just dipped her arm and kept going. And then Tyler was like, "That was the coldest thing I've ever seen you do," and I was just like, I was just not trying to get touched up. Like,
Yeah.
that's not trying to get molested. Stop.
Yeah, I think there's a weird pattern with me where it's like first moving there, it was like everyone's trying to talk to me and like I'm very uncomfortable. Then you kind of like your skin thickens and then you do what you like just described. But then now you're just like, oh, I'm over it, but I'm not gonna be an asshole. It's just be like whenever someone's trying to offer you something, you're like, no, thanks, not today, or no, thank you, and just keep walking.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm at that point right now. I'm just like, no, thank you, and then don't even turn around.
Yeah. I am this. Okay, I need to make a little PSA before I say this story. Okay, it's not
Oh
a big story.
no.
I need to say it because I'm not trying to get canceled or get in a fight. Okay,
Okay.
just this podcast is not politically charged in any way, racially charged, or religiously charged in any way. This is just a comment on food and pricing. Okay, you hear that? Pricing and food. I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to the homies watching and listening.
Understandable.
We ate lunch for one of the days at the Trump Tower because we thought, why not? It's right there. Out of all of the food that I had ordered that week, the cheapest meal I bought was at Trump Tower. How? I had a pizza. It was like 20, almost $30. I had Thai food. Okay, the Thai food screwed me because it said on the menu, spring roll. No amount, just said spring roll. And I said, okay, I want 2 spring roll. Apparently, a spring roll comes with 6. So I got 12 spring rolls. And, but we went there and I got a roast beef sandwich and it was the cheapest meal. And I was like, how the fuck?
Yeah, I think it's just you need to know where you're going. Like,
Yeah,
I guess
I
you
think
would
we went to the
never.
wrong spots too, but that's
Yeah,
on us.
yeah. So it's like doing your research because, like, how you said you don't want to do all the touristy things. Well, obviously that's already going to be jacked up prices. So that was a good start. But then I don't know what happened after that.
It was just the places we went to, and we also like got a good bit of food because we stayed up all night, and
Oh, okay.
it was a trip. A lot happened that trip. Tyler clogged the toilet of the hotel. A dude had to come up, and Tyler was naked when the guy showed up, and it was so embarrassing. It was bad. And okay, so he clogged it, right, and there was no plunger. And he slides the door open to the bathroom, peeks out and says, "Hey." I'm like, "What's up, bud?" He's like, I clogged it. And I was like, "You son of a bitch." And I was like, okay, I know for a fact when we came in about an hour ago, there was just a random dude behind that desk. So I'm banking on it's him. I called the front desk, and it sounds like the most attractive woman I've ever heard in my life. And then
no.
she picks up, guest services, how can I help you? And I was just like, and it's not him asking, it's me asking. And I'm like, I made it very clear, my friend clogged the toilet, and we need someone up here now. And
Okay, well, when you say my friend like that, it's gonna sound like you, dude.
the dude shows up with the plunger, and he's like, "All right, where is it at?" And I'm like, "Actually, he's still in the bathroom." And he's like, "There's someone else in here." And then Tyler, full naked, leans out of the door, going, "Hello." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just take that from you." And he said, "Yeah, when you're done, just leave it outside in the hallway." I said, "You're not going to come back for it?" He said, "Ain't no way in hell I'm touching that from you, bud." And fair enough.
That's so rude.
It was nuts. But getting off of New York, a little thing that not many people may know about you. You actually have a background in fashion.
Yes, I do. That's actually why I went to New York, for fashion.
Did you actually go to school for like fashion classes or whatever you take?
Yeah,
Courses?
it was a private college in Midtown Manhattan.
Oh, so you got that rich money. I see.
Oh
Mm.
no. No. And like I didn't know what I wanted to do because, it was kind of like a send it, like fuck it kind of decision, which
Just
is
go for
kind
it.
of stupid. Because I was originally going to go to a school in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like going to study business. Who knows what kind of business? I literally just told people business and they're like, okay. But then in the middle of the summer, or in the middle, like, I don't know, somewhere, I was like, now I'm just going to go to New York. I'm going to go to school there. And then people are like, oh, you're leaving? I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. So, but
Just up and
see,
leave.
my thought process was New York has always been in my plan. I like fashion. I'm not gonna get as far as I could with fashion in Michigan, so
Mm-hmm.
let me just, start here rather than starting in Michigan and trying to like jam my foot in the door
Yeah.
later on. So I was like ahead of my plan, whatever my plan was. But it wasn't a, clothing design school. It was literally like the business side of fashion. So like marketing, management, merchandising, international business and stuff like that. So not like drawing and sewing
You
stuff.
actually have a really cool picture on your Instagram. It's a bit far down, but it's you posing with the whole the punk rock aesthetic, and
Uh-huh.
it's like it was cool to see you like in your element in a way, just kind of doing your
Yeah.
thing. Because obviously, you're on Twitch, you're not really showing off fashion all the time.
Yeah.
So the few times it actually does show, it's cool to see that you're like actually talented at what you should do.
Oh, thank you. Like, if I could find a way to combine like everything that I love, I think I'd be super happy. But it's like, and I've thought about this. I don't remember if it was you. No, I think it was someone else. But I like had this idea of like upcycling clothes and like kind of altering them, like
I think you told
dyeing
me
or
about that.
cutting and painting on stuff, like thrifting items and then just like changing it to fit more of my style. And someone was like, "Oh, you should stream that." And I was like, "I should." But like I want to get a second camera so I can have like two different angles, and then just my room is so small to do all these big like art project kind of things would be a
Mm-hmm.
hassle. So it's I really have to think about how I would set it up, but I'm really down to do that
I definitely know
kind
how
of
that
thing. Yeah.
feels. I don't do them as much because we've been moving, but you may know I customize hats, and I
Yeah, I
do
remember your hats.
a lot of splatter paint because that's my favorite.
Mhm.
And I actually have a thing where um, so to kind of say thank you to my top two mods and one of my best friend on Twitch. Um, I got Tony his own patches, like motorcycle patches,
Ooh.
and I'm going to do custom hats, and then when they're fully done, I'm gonna press Tony onto the hat.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So that'll be interesting. Um, but when I want to stream or at least record customizing the hats, but I don't know how because I always did it outside. I was just
Yeah.
in my backyard. I put on some music and I would just have fun for a bit.
Yeah.
I would definitely need like a not a studio but a little area, you know.
Yeah. I could probably do some really like cheap setup with my phone. Cause so my apartment, it's like literally only 4 floors and I'm on the fourth floor and I have access to the roof. Well, I have access to the roof. We're not supposed to go up there. But I like usually spray paint up there. But and since like my I'm on the top floor, my Wi-Fi like connects there. So when I'm just chilling, I can always be connected to Wi-Fi. So maybe I can just like maneuver something one day.
Yeah. I mean, it could work. You could definitely make it work. Um, with your background in fashion, do you think that obviously we talked a little bit about merch, but do you think there's going to be a point where you're going to do like limited drops of like fully customized Audrey freaking shirts, hats, jackets, etc.?
I Okay, so yes, I've definitely thought about this and I want to do it. Like I did like a trial run and I'll like spoil it, I guess, but I had went to the thrift store one day and I saw like one of those I Heart New York shirts and the first thing that popped into my head was to spray paint like an X over New York and then spray paint my like tag on there. So like a cute punk. So instead of I Heart New York, it's I Heart a Cute Punk, but like very like grungy with the spray paint. And it was like a really small shirt, so it was literally just a test run, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to do that,
Did
like
you?
something like that.
So you said that you put your tag on it. Did you actually go out and do like tagging at any point in your life?
No, because I am too good to do that. Like I can't
I
even be problematic in video games. I can't be problematic in real life.
Me and my friends or later on in high school, but we would hang out and then go places and tag, and that's where I got really so I don't know about you, but I practiced my cage signature because you never know. And
For sure.
it's super simple. It's like the C, but the bottom line is taken all the way out, and then I write age on the line. Like very simple. And I got the idea from when I did tag. It was just very quick, easy, grab and go.
Yeah, like I've definitely even with like logos because like I'm trying to get some kind of logo going for my Twitch. It's just like endless doodles in like a random piece of paper or a random piece of paper in a random notebook,
Hmm.
just like playing around with different things. But I don't have like official like font or text. I started playing around with it, but I haven't fallen in love with anything yet.
Like I know I made the stuff for you, but obviously if you want something different, I'm not going to be offended. Go do what you want.
Which was
Um,
very nice, by the way. He literally was like one day, I'm gonna make a surprise. Well, I don't know if you told me or if you did a stream or
I
something, or
I
you.
just said I've got a surprise, and you were like, "What?" And I just asked random questions like, "What's your favorite color?" And just obscure questions, and I was like, "All right, give me a
Yeah.
minute."
And then I remember too, you did another one where it was like an actual stream where you were gonna make something else. And then I like
Hmm.
popped in and you were like, oh, like you
This
weren't
is
supposed to
awkward.
do this.
Yeah, I was throwing up a bunch of ideas because I was like, "There's got to be something," and you came in right when I was giving like just some basic concept ideas, and one of them you shut down really hard because you're like, "No, that's Knuckle Puck's thing. You can't do that," and I was like,
Did I really say that's Knuckle Puck's thing?
"Yeah." It was
I don't remember
it
that.
was the thing with the AK and what's the thing?
Oh, no, no, no. It wasn't Knuckle Puck because you were like, it was just weird because I feel like I'd be like ripping off the idea. It's the defend pop punk thing,
Yeah.
but you literally put defend a cute punk, which is it sounds like a simp anthem.
Oh, it
Okay.
definitely is. But I was like, yo, I've got to make it work because you had it in as a what are they called? Like not a tapestry, but a fucking
A
thing,
flag.
a flag on your wall. And then wasn't that your Animal Crossing flag too?
Yeah, that's my village's flag. Defend pop punk with the fucking gun on it and everything.
But you shot it down so hard, and I was like, hey, I was just throwing up ideas, man. And I was
I'm
just like,
sorry.
no, it's fine. I'm done. I just kept going. It was fine. But every time I lose my train of thought, it's fine. With what you're doing, trying to find a logo of sorts, I don't use a logo per se. Obviously, like for my streams and for my face cam, I've got like Cage written out in that one font, and that's pretty much everywhere. But for like my actual social medias, I found that, and I think you can attest to this too in aspects, but like the social medias that are more personable, like Instagram, Twitter, where it's you, it definitely hits different when you have a animated logo versus an actual selfie of you. And then Twitch is similar but kind of the opposite in some ways, where like I don't know if you know who Ludwig is.
No, but that's the name of a dog I met at a dog park recently.
Sure. So that dog streams and he's like super famous, and but his all of his socials that aren't Twitch, it's like a professional looking selfie of him, and but his Twitch profile picture is like super zoomed in, just his face, and it's just the complete opposite of keeping it professional. But
Yeah, like I think having like a drawn picture of yourself is the best thing to do.
mhm.
Like, I mean, some people maybe the selfies work, but I feel like it's a little more, I don't know, it has a little more character when it's like something that's drawn, or
Mhm.
it's a little more interesting because people kind of like the art aspect. And then,
Yeah.
like, I remember I used to have like my selfie or just like my face normally as the face of like my Twitch and Instagram and Discord. But then once I started becoming a little like became a little more active, or like I got a little more attention, it felt kind of weird of it being my face, because I feel like maybe it's too much and my face should be saved for when I stream kind of thing.
This is a present. If you need to unwrap it, you will go to twitch.tv/.
I mean, maybe it's just like, you know, a slow move into OnlyFans. Now, if you want to see my face, you gotta. I'm kidding.
If you want to see the face, $5 a month.
$5 a month.
Cough it up, bucko. I ain't playing around anymore. Oh, dude. But one thing I don't think we talked we mentioned it in chat once, but like how we met, I think it was just because you were posting on Instagram all the time. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, sure. And now I'm here.
Now you're stuck with me forever.
Oh no. You weirdly have like going back, of course, like referencing, but the fact that you streamed mainly on PlayStation for the longest time, like that's all you streamed on until you got your PC, and then you went to that. You got a decent following from just being on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's crazy how that could happen. Because
I think you had like 200 followers when I found you, and you were just on PlayStation looking at chat on your phone.
Yeah, I still look at chat on my phone, by the way.
old habits die hard, I guess.
No, I'm just poor to get a second monitor.
I feel that.
So if any of you listening want to, I'm kidding.
She does have a wholesome fans. Do you actually plan on putting anything like memey and funny on your wholesome fans?
I see. It's like I need to figure out how to play the game, right? Because, you know, there's gonna be the people who are gonna follow it
Mm.
and like expect or like, you know, hope there's gonna be something that's like not a
Like,
meme.
oh, got one.
Yeah, but then like I could literally maybe just make it shorties. Like I could just post
Bro,
shorty.
just put shorty and just
Like
oh,
pussy pics, but it's shorty.
easy. That's easy money.
Easy. What you say?
But like even as far as just going against and being like, oh yeah, posting something bad, and you put more clothes on than what you've ever put on. Like you're putting on a sweater, a burqa, a big windbreaker. Just like, you gotta get the tier 3 if you want to see
Yeah.
that.
Oh my
It's so
god.
bad. But one thing I've always wondered is, what are your thoughts on like lurking and like not paying too much attention, like not chatting, but just watching someone that you like stream? Like I've noticed that you'll watch my streams at times, and you'll chat and you'll say something, and then it'll be like fucking pulling teeth to get you to respond again. But I feel like you do it on purpose.
No. I mean, so I like join, but then well, so what I like to do if I'm sitting down on my computer, I like see who's streaming. I'll pull up a handful of streams and I'll like go back and forth between them because I want to support everyone.
Mm.
So, or like I'll if only one person's streaming, like say you're streaming, but I want to work on stuff, I'll like have you just playing in the background, and if you're trying to like say something to me, I might miss it because I'm focusing on something
Yeah.
else. But like I still have your volume up, so you're like background noise to me. But then, you know, there might be the instances where you say
Okay.
something that catches my attention, so I like hop back in a chat. So
Mm.
it's not like I'm, you know, supporting you, but not like fully supporting you by not listening to what you have to say or like watching your content. Like I'm like, oh yeah, he's streaming again. Just like, you know, mute, have the tab up somewhere else.
Well, I don't
Like,
see it as like you're not supporting me by not
mhm.
chatting, but I definitely get it. And it's just just jokes, but it's always funny because you'll just pop up in chat when I least expect it. I'm like, how long have you been here? Also, you're like I'm pretty sure I went back, and you know how Twitch, it'll for your channel points, it lets you look to see all the things you haven't completed yet because you haven't marked it as completed or whatever. Um, I looked through all the dictionary ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the past 6 months,
The
you're the
past 6
only
months.
person.
I'm the only person who redeemed dictionary.
There were times.
Wait.
There were a few times where like DJ would do it, but
Okay.
like that's a once ever, and the large majority of that screen, Audrey.
It's just so fun. Like I love your reaction because you'll be like in the middle of some like intense situation, and I'm like dictionary.
It's every time.
I'm like, what is the most random number I could do? Oh, I remember the very first time I redeemed dictionary. I didn't even pay attention to the number, and I said a number that wasn't within the range. And you're like looking for it, and you're like, wait a minute.
I'm like, it's not here. And you're like, oh, I didn't read it. I'm like, I put the words there for a reason.
I was like, what's a high number?
Oh, and then yesterday's stream when you did it, and it was the most ironic word that could have ever been picked.
Yeah.
So in the stream, she gave 2 numbers, and I didn't say anything of it, but I looked for it, and the word was, I believe it was like something like Nazareth or something.
It was New Jerusalem.
It was New Jerusalem. That's what it was. And the people that gave her those numbers, her friends are Jewish, and it was very like, huh? I wonder. And
It was the funniest
I
thing.
was like, the pure irony of that.
Still so funny.
What are your thoughts on channel points? Like, I think I've seen I haven't looked at your channel points in a bit, but I know the shorty one I saved and
Yeah.
spent all of my cash on that.
I think channel points is a good way to get like interaction, especially if you have unique ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some of the ones that are like, oh, everyone does it, like the hydrate one. or posture check, which is like good because it's like you're keeping yourself in check. But like I feel like I don't want to use those because like when I'm at my desk, I already have my water next to me and I like drink like good enough to where I don't need to be reminded. But I really like the interesting and like more out there channel points. Like yours, you have pretty good ones.
I was gonna say,
Like the dictionary
mine.
one. Yeah, like
even my cheap ones. I made the cheap ones like something super quick and easy I can do, but also like kind of jarring. We're like, wait, did he just like
yeah, like the random or like I was gonna say like all the random noises, your harmonica thing,
the dudes with the harmonica,
yeah, or the silent one. I could never do that.
That one, I forgot what it was. I got inspiration from it somewhere, but I do know it happened because of chat, where someone just kept like, I'd be talking, and they're like, "Hey, streamer man, shut up, stop talking." And I was like, this is my streamer. Like, no, I don't want to hear you talk anymore. I just want to hear the game. And so I didn't speak for a few minutes, and then chat went crazy because they were just they just went off because I wasn't there to put them in check. Be like, "Hey, stop that!" They just kept going. It kept going, and I was like, "No, this is off." But the channel point, it just, one thing I actually enjoyed about it was actually setting up the behind the scenes for it, like actually making the timer pop up.
I noticed that the other day.
Behind the scenes nerd stuff, but
nerd stuff.
It's I made it where it's just one button I press on my stream deck, where as soon as I press it, the timer pulls up and it's 2 minutes. And obviously, like travel setup, what I'm rocking right now, I've only got one monitor, so I have to reach out off my phone. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
So I can't see what my stream looks like, so I can't see that the timer's going down. So I also have a button on the stream deck that is a 2-minute timer, and it has like a tiny timer on the little screen itself. So I press them at the same time, and then I know 2 minutes is there.
Cool. Yeah, like
stuff.
Like I started with my channel points. They were kind of basic stuff, like, oh, you can choose what role I play in Overwatch, like comp,
I think that's
or you
still
can.
there.
Yeah, it's still there, but like no one's really used it, so I don't know how long that's gonna stay up there. But I feel like maybe the more interactive ones, where you kind of step away from whatever you're streaming, are the more effective ones, because people like want to interact with you. That's like
the point of Twitch.
Yeah, and like the people who are interacting with you are the ones who've been in your channel for a long time, because they're the ones with the channel points, so they're gonna use it that way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're the guest. You're allowed to speak first.
Okay, I was gonna say, I think the most recent one that I put was like bad callouts, where if I'm in the middle of a game, I would just make like the worst callouts ever. So I need to work on that more though, because sometimes I just like forget that I'm too into the game and I actually need to be really shitty at callouts. Like I feel like that'd be a good one once I kind of master that.
I think when it comes to those, my buddy Bent-Up, he's very good at video games. Obviously he's getting better, but he, especially at the beginning, he wasn't the best at actually streaming, talking to chat. And so a lot of his channel points are very game based. So pick what I play, next game, all this type of stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's cool. But a lot of the, like, I feel like out of me and all my friends, the ones that we've made that are very different are definitely the ones people do more, because it's something quirky, something wacky, haha, funny, and it pops up. It's easy to do. Like, obviously it's a little embarrassing, but I've done it so much, like I don't care anymore doing the
yeah. Yeah.
And I've gotten like so numb to it. I'll be having a conversation with somebody, look over at chat, see somebody did it, and just be like, okay, so whenever we come around this then we're gonna come back around, and then they're just like, we're just gonna skip past that. It's like, yeah, I do it too. Oh,
That's great.
I was on a call 2 days ago when my friend was streaming, and we both were streaming, and someone redeemed Hanya, and I did it, and there was no reaction, zero. They kept talking, and so chat thought I muted myself, And I was like, no, they're so used to it, they don't hear it anymore. Or if they do, they don't care.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you muted. That's cheating. That's cheating. And so I just showed my Discord screen of me not muted, just even louder. It's going, hiya. And then they were just like, are you good? Are you done?
Are you done?
And I was like, they thought I was muted, so I had to prove it. And like, oh, okay, you're good.
Oh my god.
Fun things like that. How long have you been streaming?
It's gonna be 2 years in January.
2 years?
I think January, yeah. 2 years.
Good lord.
I know, it just kind of went really quickly.
Yeah, if time flies when you're having fun. But I think I'm coming up on, I think it's next week, or it's either the 12th or the 15th. I'd have to look, but next week or the week after is going to be my 1 year anniversary.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something somewhat decent for that stream. Hopefully, streams recently have been lackluster, and I feel bad about it, but like, work's so stressful, and your boy's like trying to get an apartment, so I like stream is the one thing I can do to like relax a bit.
Oh no, that's how I viewed like streaming. That's what got me through like my last job, because it was like I can come home looking forward to doing this thing that I really enjoy, and like I have the time to do it. So and like I always had the energy, because like I had mentioned, my shifts were like 6 a.m. to 3 or 7 to 4, and then even after that I would go to the gym, and then I would come home, and then I would start streaming just to go to sleep and do it all again.
When we started the job down here, and I got a promotion, so I had to do more work. My boss had said, "Oh, that streaming stuff's probably going to come to a slow, because you're going to be so sick and tired of looking at computer screens." And I was like, "Not at all. Like,
it's different.
It's the
so
opposite."
different.
Because like the computer screen doesn't even matter. I'm not doing this to play video games. I'm not doing this to do anything. I'm doing this to like unwind from the stress.
Yeah.
I use it as a vehicle to just calm down, get all the bad stuff out, have some fun. Obviously, I'm not. Twitch is so much more than just playing a video game and being good at it.
Oh, for sure.
Like, obviously, the chat's a huge thing, but even something that a lot of chat doesn't know unless they've been told, there's a ton of behind the scenes that happens. Like getting ready, making sure stuff's done, like this beautiful face that you see in front of you. It's not natural. There's a light that blinds me 24/7 that the camera's sitting on. I have to like turn that lamp off, turn a smaller lamp on behind me, and like it's a setup I have to get done. Like,
even like setting up for this, I like chose which like windows to close, what lights to turn on and off.
I had to close the blinds to that window right there. I even like, as soon as I got ready, I did the test in Discord. You can do like the test video to see what it looks like.
Oh yeah.
And this part of my hair was just whoop, and I was like, So I just ran. I got like some gel or whatever, and then it's fine. It's fine. Like there's a lot of prep work to streaming and recording and the podcast and everything. Question: do you actually listen to podcasts? You seem like the type.
Yeah, I do. I used to listen to, like, maybe a few years ago, I was really dedicated to one, but then I kind of stopped listening to that one. But then I recently picked up another podcast, and then I like listening to your podcast. Like on the road trip, I was listening to your stuff.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I asked that because like a lot of people will. Obviously, podcasts are not for everyone, or they'll have a certain stigma of like, oh, that's boring. Boring people do that. That sucks. That's just talking. But once you get into it, it's kind of addicting, because there's ones you get into and you're really invested.
Yep.
The first one that actually got me into listening to podcasts was the Misfits podcast, so like Swagger Souls Fits, those they're YouTubers and streamers, but it was very funny, crazy drug fueled stories. It was
Ooh.
nuts. And then I found, do you know who Bill Burr is?
It sounds familiar.
He's a stand-up comic.
Okay.
And he was actually one of the first podcasts ever. Like, I want to say, like, out of the first 10 that were made, he was number 7. Like,
oh, okay.
When podcasts started, he jumped on the wave immediately. He's been making podcasts since 2006 or 2007.
Okay.
Something like that. Or at least that's when the Spotify playlist stops, like, backwards wise. And he's made a podcast every Monday. It's called the Monday Morning Podcast.
Oh, nice.
And he's made a podcast every Monday for the past 16, 17 years.
Wow, that's
and,
dedication.
Since quarantine started, stand-up comedy kind of got a shutdown because you can't have people. So he started doing twice the amount of podcasts.
Wow, yeah.
So he'll have the Monday and then the Thursday podcast, just to be like, yeah, this happened in the past few days. See you on Monday. And podcasts are a weird thing because there's so many types. Like, there's the story ones, there's the educational style ones, and there's actually a lot of podcasts that are Spotify deems them as like in a category of like 15 minutes or less podcasts.
Oh, okay.
And they're just small episodes that happen. Like, there's one called, I've been listening to a lot. It's called the Twitch Playbook by Voice of Nick. It's just small, like max amount of time is like 10-15 minutes for an episode. And he's been streaming for like upwards of 6 years. And the whole thing is like journal entries for like all the things he's learned along the way. And
smart,
it's a very interesting look and like a different perspective on Twitch. But I also found one. I actually really advise, if you stream or want to stream, listen to it. It's called The Twitch Playbook by Voice of Nick. It's very good. But there's one I found called the Pea Pod.
Okay.
And it was like, okay. I listened to it. Each episode is about minute, 2 minutes long.
What?
And it's POVs, or not POVs. It obviously it's audio, but
yeah.
Like the one I listened to, the description was POV, you're at the urinal, a guy walks up and he's a little too breathy. And
that's it?
All you hear is a dude open a door, walk in, and just and then he's just like, what's up? And then you just hear someone actually pissing. And then it just, all you hear is zip, and then he leaves, and that's the whole podcast.
That's a podcast?
Yeah, it's called the Pea Pod.
Oh my god. See, I haven't listened to, or like, I guess found those types of podcasts, because mine have been more like female focused in a way. So like a few years ago when I was like really into podcasts, I would listen to this podcast called Girl Boss, which was a podcast by this girl who built her own business by like thrift shopping, and then it became this website. Don't think your listeners would know, but it's Nasty Gal. It's just like a fashion website thing, but it was literally started on eBay and now it's its own like brand. And then the other one that I listened to is Self-Helpless, where it was like self-help advice from like 3 comedian women. Okay. And it was really cool. Yeah. And then the one that I'm listening to now is called Call Her Daddy, which I don't your face. Which I don't know if you know about that one. I don't think you do from your face.
That's a jump.
It's just like, you know, it is a jump, but yeah. But it's like more like sex positive stuff. Like, honestly, if you guys are looking for some advice on how you could be better, you'd listen to that podcast. I'm telling you. You're listening. You're. Write that down. Write that
down. Actually, that's a good lean into this. Is like the female space online, because obviously, like, oh, girl, gamer girl, like
gamer girl.
Even when it came down to picking guests for this podcast, obviously I never like sought out like, oh, the first 4 episodes are only going to be dudes. That's all I'm going to have. It's just who answered the text, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But I do have female streamer friends I want to get on, and even like, also that's the thing somebody said that I have just streamers on. Obviously it has just been streamers so far, but I want to get like Instagram personalities, even TikTokers, like YouTubers, people who do other types of content.
Understandable.
And even other podcasters. I think that'd be sick. But when it came to all of the female friends I had, you obviously were at the top of the list regardless. But
Aww.
Like, out of the females, I definitely wanted you to be the first one, because like you're like one of my best friends online.
Oh, best friends.
Best friends.
Besties.
You see, if you say it in a derpy voice, it doesn't sound weird.
It doesn't sound weird. Paige, you're my best friend. Did that sound weird?
It did sound weird. It was like, oh, buddy. It's gonna be better. It'll be better.
It sounded more friends.
Oh yeah, just play off like you sent me to the friend zone. It'll be fine. It's cool. It's cool. I'm not gonna lie. There's times I forget he's there, and then when he pops up, it scares me so bad. Obviously, if you're listening to this on Spotify, YouTube can see it. It's just homie in the background. Just kind of appears.
Fingering donuts.
Oh god. If you want to,
no, because you got up and you scared him.
If you want to see the fingering donuts, go to Patreon. Just saying. Oh. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Well, okay. What are your thoughts on being a woman on Twitch? Has it been rough? Has it been interesting?
It's definitely been interesting. I wouldn't necessarily say rough, because I haven't gotten any like really bad treatment from it. You know, I've gotten weird stuff, but it's not enough for me to be like, why am I doing this? I need to stop. Like, this is not my place. Because part of the reason why I started streaming is because I wanted to be a representation of a woman playing games online that isn't, you know, like wearing such a low cut shirt, or like, you know, doing all those or like begging for money and you know, all that stuff. Like, I wanted to be a different kind of influence.
You didn't want to be one of the Twitch females who are hey, my eyes are up here streamers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, good for them. They're making their hustle, but I just wanted to be something else. Like, because, you know, there are going to be those younger people watching, and like, I don't want that to be the only thing that they see. And they're like, oh, like, if you want to be like a gamer girl, you have to be this way. Like, no, like, there's other people who literally just play the game who don't even have cameras sometimes. Like, I just wanted to be like more on the just chill side and not the more using myself side.
Yeah. Even though you use that to promote your Instagram, just gonna
listen. It's not gonna help that the art or the the picture for this podcast episode.
Because you said that the other day, I actually took the time to find a different picture and then update everything again. So that's...
Wait, what picture did you use?
It was the first one you sent me. Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that. It's a nice one. It's a good picture.
Okay.
But I was
you didn't want to use me for views or for like listeners.
I never wanted it to be that way. It was just okay. So the one I was gonna use. Obviously, your boy don't use Photoshop, so I can't just knock the background out easy. There's a website that does an amazing job for being a free website. It's called I just look up background remover, and it's the first one. It's like a .xyz or something.
Okay.
You just upload a picture, and as long as it can distinguish between what's the foreground, what's the background, it can knock it
Yeah.
out. And like the one I was gonna use, I was like, dude, that's sick, that's perfect. It wouldn't take it. The site
Oh.
just wouldn't take that picture. So the second one I tried, it worked, and it just so happened to be a little bit of close. Don't you dare yell at me. I did it live on stream.
Did I not send you that picture though?
You did send it to me. And
So it was like me approved, but I just wanted to point out like the most like racy picture that I
it definitely looked bad. And plus, Google fricked me because I had it ready,
no.
and as soon as I opened it up in a tab, I didn't know that if you just happen to left click, it decides to zoom in on that area.
Oh, I think
And
I was there for that. I clipped it. No,
yeah,
I clipped it on your
clipped it.
stream.
Yeah, you clipped it. And I instantly was like, no, you're not going to make me look like a creep today, Google. I like how you left it in the clip that like I was saying, no, you're not going to get me. Trying to do me dirty all day. You had your name being a different name, so now you took my side of the screen. You've been trying to take my shine over here, Audrey. I'm
Oh,
ashamed.
totally. Yeah, it's gonna be the Oddcast.
The Oddcast. Actually, this was a point I was going to make earlier, but I just forgot to. I don't know if anybody else does this. I don't know if you do. But like whenever I'm in a stream and I'm talking in chat a lot, and then there's that point where you have to leave, I'm just like, all right, bye. I'll usually stay and listen for a few more minutes, just to see what's up.
Oh, so like if you're going to the bathroom and you're in a party with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do that, but I do that when I come back from like if I'm going to the bathroom. So like I come back, I just sit and like chill for a little bit and I put my headphones on and I like listen to what people are talking about before I like announce my presence again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I know sometimes I'll forget to like go back right away because even just in PlayStation, I'll do that and then I just be like, oh yeah, hey guys, I'm here, or like I heard all of that.
Yeah, it started because this guy had mentioned it as a Twitch little suggestion. If you're gonna be leaving a chat, stick around for a minute, see what happens. You never know. And it was just curious, so I did it, and for the most part, it was positive stuff. So I'd say bye, and then when I left, they would still be like, "Hey, that guy's cool. Follow him if you want to," or like, "I really like talking to that guy," and it's something positive, you know. But there was one guy who was very much like, dude, I can't stand talking to that guy when he's in chat.
Oh no.
So I swiftly unfollowed.
I don't know. Sometimes, because like knowing my group of friends, sometimes they could be just like, jokingly assholes.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like they never, like, whenever I say like I'll be right back, they won't even acknowledge like my stream unless like there's some joke being made about that's like related to stream.
My IRL friends did. They really liked using certain slurs.
Oh no.
Yep, when I wasn't there to police it.
That's unfortunate.
So many deleted VODs. It's rough.
I feel like I'm really lucky with like my online friends. Like no one has been like really mean or like has tried to ruin my streams in any way.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just like also being like a girl. Like they're gonna be like slightly nicer in that way.
I talk to you worse than I talk to anybody. Like I say,
really,
yo, the stuff I say in your chat is horrific. Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm not gonna lie, might have been too far, but that's funny, and I stand by that.
Well, yeah, that's fine because like one, we've known each other for like 6 months, and
that's still
like
crazy to me.
I know. And wait, you said, oh no, so I've known you for half of your streaming career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy, and I don't think we mentioned like how exactly we met. Like it was kind of brought up, but I feel like it wasn't actually made.
Yeah.
But it was through Instagram, and I would post all the time, but I would use the post small or the hashtag small streamer,
Same.
and that's how and that's how you find people.
As much as people say the YouTube like Twitch gurus and whatever, they'll say nobody's looking up small streamer. Small streamers are, and that's how communities are made. And
Yeah, because
it's weirdly strong. Like I found this dude on small streamer, and I loved his gamer tag, which was Steve French, and I'm not sure if you've ever seen Trailer Park Boys.
no.
It's a dumb show, but it's so funny, and I love it. It's dumb funny.
Yeah.
But Steve French is a reference to a random episode that you'd only know if you've seen it. And I told him, hey, I like it. And then he started showing me like, he's like, oh, dude, you should check out what I did for Halloween. And then sends a picture of him dressed as one of the characters. I'm like, oh, dude, that's sick. And then he hit me up the other day that him and some other streamers are trying to get a poker game started up. And he was like, hey, you want to? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, you're going to be buying. I said, all right, bet. Let me know.
That's awesome.
Never would have found that without the hashtag small streamer.
Yeah, like you gotta go for the people who are like around your like how many followers or like things that you have. You can't like always shoot for like the higher numbers because they're not gonna care, honestly. But the people who are gonna care are the people who either are at the same pace as you are or lower.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing with raids. Like when you're doing a raid, find the people with like a few viewers, like 2 or 3 people.
I'll usually find someone who has less or like right around what I have, because that's where it makes the most contribution. Obviously 5 viewers to anybody's 5 viewers, but
Right.
like it has a bigger impact on your size and lower just because of how it all works. But because I started making YouTube videos, I started using I've used Small Streamer forever because I did Twitch way before YouTube, and I decided to throw hashtag small YouTuber, which was a bad idea.
Really?
Vultures. Follow for follow, follow for follow, sub for sub.
Gosh.
Check out my content. Check out my content, guys. I've deleted so many comments of just people shouting themselves out. And it's just copy and paste bots that anybody who puts that hashtag on, it just comments that. No likes, no follows, just, hey guys, come check out my channel. I do this and this. Okay, deleted.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of vultures.
And, like, I recently uploaded a YouTube video, but it was like my only one, and it's literally like so basic, like there's no bells and whistles to it.
But it's still because... a good video though.
Oh, you watched it? Oh, thank you. But like I don't like the idea of making YouTube videos of like clips, because like I have the clips, but it's so much easier to do a 1-minute video than to do like a 10-minute video. Then like not even to get rewarded, like enough reward out of it.
Yeah.
But like I feel like, because that's why like Twitch is so easy, because it's like you're already recording your content. You don't have to like sit there and essentially be talking to yourself. With Twitch, you actually have an audience all the time, or most of the time. And then you can clip while you're streaming. That's why I love having my stream deck. I just press the button when something happens, and then I go back later and then just have to like dumb it down to whatever moment into a minute, and then I post it for Instagram the next day. And because people's attention spans are a little bit smaller, the minute video, like people might rewatch it a few times if they miss something, whereas if you have like the 10-minute video, it might be a little too long for some people and they might not even like finish through it.
I also think Instagram does that partially on purpose, where when you roll up on a video, for most part on my end, they're auto muted, and so I'll always miss the first like second or two of every video, so I have to watch it a second time to catch it. But going back to the vultures of small YouTuber, small streamer's not bad, but the small YouTubers vultures. Anytime I post now, I get two to three people in my DMs trying to sell me their super cool MLG logo designs.
I
And
kind of stopped getting those designs. I like gotten a handful, but that kind of died
can we
down for
talk about
me.
how MLG logos suck? Like I came from a background of logo design. I like very clean, minimalist, like
Yeah.
simple. That's my style that I enjoy.
Hmm.
Everyone has their thing, but dude, the every time I see an MLG logo, all I see is 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
People who don't know what they're doing, who are trying to make themselves look cool, but it doesn't hit because everyone does it. So you get lost in the crowd of garbage.
Right.
So this one dude, he didn't speak great English, and I felt bad, but he was
Uh-oh.
trying to sell me his logos. And you know how they'll throw their pitch, but then they'll put 12 pictures that are hidden that you have to open individually. And all I did was I sent him a picture of Kirby with a hammer, and it just says bonk. And then he sent a question mark, and I've left him on red for 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like, no, stop that. Quit it.
See, what I'm getting recently is a bunch of like clothing brands. They're like, "Hey, DM us for a collab," like in my comments and in my DMs. Like one I got today was like, "Hey, we've been looking at your profile for a while. We think you'd be a great ambassador for our brand. Like DM our main page at this whatever if you're interested."
Mm.
Which, not gonna lie, I did buy into one because it was stuff that I would actually wear. So that's
Hey.
another thing. It's like they say that they've been looking at my profile, but it's like, really, would I wear this? Do you think I would wear this? Like, no.
And then there's those ones where you're like, actually,
Just the one. Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of merch, you're definitely the. See, I come to you when it comes to like fashion advice and stuff because it's like,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah.
I can't go to like my buddy because he's not gonna fucking know. He's just gonna be like,
Yeah, he's gonna be like,
yeah, it looks cool.
yeah.
But I obviously I it's not been approved or accepted, whatever you want to call it, by the merch company I'm working with. But
Mm-hmm.
the most recent one I've done, the one I sent you with the paint stripe on the side,
Yes, yes.
I think that's like the cleanest, best one I've ever made so far. It's my whole style, simple, clean, easy, but like minimalist, but it's nice, you know.
No, I really admire like how minimalistic your like I guess theme is because it works for you.
Mm.
Because it's like it's not because your personality can sometimes be like out there and like crazy, and then you just have this merch that's so simple, and it's like it's a balance because you don't want like too much crazy unless that's why people love you. It's because you're crazy, so they want to
Mm-hmm.
have the crazy stuff too. But I think for you, it's like a great balance.
Like I feel like this is a a good um thing to put out into, I guess, the podcast and anybody who listens. Whenever I'm streaming myself and like I'm alone, the real me is there, where I'm calm, I'm quiet, I'm kind of just chill, I'm just hanging out. Obviously I'll make jokes because that's me, but anytime I'm in somebody else's stream or a call, I will be very like, I'll be turned up to 11 and I'll say very crazy things. It's very entertaining, you know. Like I'll definitely. It's gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound bad, but it's. I see going into other people's streams, making their chats laugh, as a form of advertising. Be like, hey, I'm funny. Come see me.
Yeah, no,
But
definitely.
obviously, advertising without advertising. But
Yeah, because like you're not gonna be an ass and be like, "Hey, I stream too. Like you should come check out my stream." No, you just like make it known that you're like important to this stream.
mm,
So if people like this streamer, they're gonna definitely like you, and they would go to you.
yeah, there was. So I don't know if you listened to the Sawyer episode.
I did.
Sawyer has a channel points thing where it's called add or change a command,
Uh-huh.
And I did it. And I was like, what's something? Because it's like 20,000 points or something. And I'm like, I've got to use this effectively. So I changed. I took his age command away from him.
Oh.
So if you do exclamation point age, it says, "Oh, that's kind of weird. Why would you want to know my age? Weird champ. Anyway, go follow and then my Twitch link." and it's like it's a meme within his community that I have that. And I don't use it. No, like anytime I show up at our raid, he'll say, "Hey, shout out Cage," and they'll just do exclamation point age instead. And there was one time this happened months ago. There was one time fairly recently where everyone forgot about age, and this person walks in chat brand new, used it genuinely, trying to know. And then when it happened, everyone starts dying, and he DMs me.
Oh my god.
He Snapchats me a video of him dying in laughter, and he just said, "Dude, somebody actually used it."
Oh.
But it's the little things like that I think are really nice for obviously advertising purposes and growing. That's the whole point of why we're on here. But you got to find the creative ways. You can't just go into somebody's chat being like, "Hey, you're cool. I'm cool. Come watch me. Follow for follow."
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
Bro.
Do you have any interesting commands on your Twitch? Because I don't think I ever used any commands. I only go straight for the channel points.
I've got a lot. I've got age, height, weenie.
Really?
If you go to my chat and do exclamation point weenie, WEENIE. Yeah, it's there. Have fun. And then there's exclamation point goat, which is a reference to a one-off stream I did where the only person in chat was my mod Luke, and I learned songs on my guitar, and we watched this guy named Bobby Crispy, and he's an older guy and he's really good at guitar, and we watched him. We're like, dude, this guy's good. And he's got like this older dude. We're like, hey guys, I'm Bobby Crispy, and we're gonna be learning this video or learning this song. And it's like, okay. We watched somebody else, and then Luke and other people who joined stream while I was doing that, they said, this guy sucks, go back to Bobby. Like, we'd watch some random dude. Like, there's a guy, his name's the Groovy Guitar Dude. That's his YouTube channel. And we were watching him, and then chat was like, yo, this guy sucks. Let's go back and watch Bobby. I was like, okay, we'll watch Bobby Crispy. And so the command is just, Bobby Crispy is the GOAT, never forget. And only like 4 people get that joke.
Aw. No, but you speaking about guitars made me remember like when I first started watching you, and you would end streams by playing a song on the guitar.
Yo.
It was so nice. And now you're just super chaotic all the time.
I actually like I love being calm and I love being chaotic, but like recently I've been very, very chill boy streamed.
Yeah.
I want to get back into like singing on stream, but I don't know. Like the morale's down because of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing, do you remember when I first got my stream deck? I set up all my stuff, and I had one called support.
Yeah, and you had like shout out stuff. Yeah.
I've got, so obviously you can do shout out to anybody, but on my stream deck I have hotkeyed Luke's Instagram, some other streamers, and yours just right there. And it's the picture.
Wait, it's still there?
Mm-hmm. It's still the picture of you holding the avocado toast.
Yes. Toast word.
Toast
That's
word?
his name, by the way.
His
yeah,
name's
Toast word.
Like Squidward, but toast word?
And more like Edward, but toast.
I'm pretty sure
Toast
that's
word?
how Squidward got his name. So I was right, but I was wrong. But
the answer is yes, but also no.
All of the above. The answer is perhaps.
I was in electrical doing light.
There was somebody who posted on Twitter, and So Sawyer is very guilty of this, and all of his Discord was tagging him in it. But there was this dude put on Twitter and said, "There's people out here with like 5 assignments due on Saturday night, and it's 11:59. But you're over here playing Among Us, boys. You're working on the wrong tasks." Just the simple, just golden tweets.
I love it.
We gotta. I like your Twitter. Yes. I do. I just think it needs a jump. It needs a jump, man.
I forget it's there.
Is that your name, like Seaweed something?
Okay, that's my personal one.
Oh, I'm outing you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Seaweed hair. That's just my personal. Yeah. And then the other one is like a Cute Punk Games, but I don't know.
I feel like
maybe it's just a Cute Punk.
I think it is just a Cute Punk.
Yeah.
I think you could have
it is.
I think you could have a popping Twitter if you just knew how to tweet.
Yeah, I tweet when I feel like it. Like, you already went through my seaweed hair one, and you're like, oh, it's just relatable.
It is relatable. It's solid tweets, but it's not getting the exposure it needs.
I don't know if I want Twitter exposure. Twitter is just kind of like my brain dump.
Dude,
like,
Twitter
area.
Is the hardest to grow. I
don't want to grow on Twitter. I could care less, but if you want to help me, you can go for it.
Like, I'm not the best. Obviously, when it comes to like people who have the best Twitter, I always will say Soggy. I think it's at Sogski, like SOGGSKI. It used to be soggy.mp4, which was sick. But he's like Twitter god, and I took a lot of notes from him. But like the best way to do Twitter, if you want to have that like exposure or like a lot of interactions with the tweet, random, out of nowhere, out of left field, thinking outside the box, random, even if it's just simple. Like I think I've had a lot of tweets that kind of like popped off, but one of the first one was 2 words, and it no punctuation, all lowercase letters. It said "fuck dicks." I think it got 17 likes and some comments.
Wow.
And the comments were like, "True."
Yeah, no, like I would be scrolling because I rather look on Twitter than really post, and I will just randomly see yours, and it'll just stick out from everything that's around it. I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, are you okay?
Why is he saying? What does that mean?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what what do you mean, but I support it.
If something pops into my head and I'm like, that'd work. Or there's times where like some of my favorite tweets, like obviously they won't perform as well, but some of my favorite tweets are like things I'll say in chat, because I think I've said it in your chat where I'll say something horrible and I'll just say, all right, that's my next tweet. Because there's times where like
probably
we'll have a conversation. You'll be doing something and I talk in chat and there's conversation, and then it gets like my improv skills, if you want to call it that, working, and I just say something horrific, and then I'm just like, that's a solid tweet, you know. Like there was one that this happened. I didn't tweet it. God, I wanted to. I'm not joke funny. I'm conversation funny. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So like I'm very like quick-witted, but I can't memorize a joke. Like that's not me. Like reciting jokes, I have to lean into it and be like, well, you know why the chicken crossed the road? And like hard, like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm very like conversation funny. That is what I call it. And I was in a Discord call like late at night a few days ago, and I have a goal, like a mission in my life. I want to be kicked out of Disney.
No.
I want to be escorted off the property by police. And this guy Bach, who is in the Discord call, hey Bach, if you're listening, he was like, all right, I'm so down. And he said, all right, how are you thinking about doing it? And I said, I'm thinking assault. I want to assault Goofy. And my thinking was I was going to punch him, kick him, etc. He starts making like weirdly sexual jokes out of nowhere. And I was confused. And then Sawyer had said, "Did you guys not get it?" Like, why? He said, "He's talking about sexually assaulting Goofy." And I was just like, that's not where my mind went. And everyone starts laughing. And I said, "I'm trying to beat him up. You're trying to beat him off. What's going on here?"
No.
Like, it's, those things. That's where I'm funny. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't be that dude like, oh, blonde, or redhead, and a brunette went into a bar.
Yeah. That's not for everyone, but
No.
though it's better when it's it's when it's unexpected.
Oh yeah. So, Miss Audrey, is there
Yes.
anything that you've been working on behind the scenes, or even trying to improve your Twitch, that you want to kind of push for this podcast? Be like, hey, go check this out.
I mean, it's just the same routine, but yeah, my Twitch is a cute punk games. Instagram is the same, Twitter is the same. But you know, this is probably gonna push me to do more of the custom clothing stuff. So maybe I'll push that out, and then you can see it
Hey.
and maybe buy something. Like the most recent thing that I actually worked on was a camo jacket, and on the back it says I painted, "Maybe I'm not too sensitive, maybe you're just a dickhead." So, you know, that's the kind of stuff you'd be getting.
I actually like that. If you
Thanks.
put something out, I'm definitely gonna try to get it.
Okay, I can also custom make stuff if you have any
Hey.
requests.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, Tony on anything, I'm happy.
Tony on anything, cool.
I'm trying to get this girl to do a resin pour of Tony.
That'd be so cool.
I'm trying. She has to like make a clay mold of him and all
Yeah.
that. But this was a ton of fun, Audrey. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Every time we have conversation, it's a blast.
Yeah, it's obviously chaotic. I think all of our conversations go that way, where it's fine, and then something happens, and we're both laughing really hard, and I just forget what I'm saying.
And then it goes deep again, but then it goes back to being chaotic and then forgetting what we're actually talking about.
It's a roller coaster, and I love it.
Yeah.
But thank you guys once again for listening to the Cage Cast. Next week's episode, I will be announcing the guest on Twitter on Monday, so keep a lookout for that. And thanks again, guys. Take care.